Watch out! Yeah, look at the road, doofus. Oh shit, wrong one. No, that's not the one. Let's play Mothmen 1966. Hello and welcome to Hula New Plays Short Indie Horror Games. And today I'm going to play the new game by LCB Game Studio. It looks gorgeous. It's a choose your own adventure visual novel, pixel style. And I don't know, it has a really cool look, kind of like X-Files meets Twin Peaks, and it's inspired by mid-20th century pulp fiction and 80s home computer graphics set amongst the strange occurrences of the Leonid meteor shower of 1966. So I'm really looking forward to this. This game is around 2.5 hours long, so for me I will probably take about 3, which means this will be split into several episodes. And let's just, dive right in. Without further ado, new game. Alright. Prologue. Halt. Three red and 5 black in the discard pile. What? Of the 6 cards face up on the counter, 2 are red and 4 are black. It's a card game? So 5 red in all and 9 black. I'm out of what? You have no more moves, so you have to bet now. Red card? With so many black cards drawn, it feels natural to choose red. Numbers should be on your side. I probably lose. I think that's like the first little deaf pokey. Even though you've already chosen, you decide to stay away from the counter. You can't bear losing again. You think of your grandma, Elsie, trying to win at solitaire for over 60 years. You take a deep breath and keep sweeping. Did she never win? Is that it? Elsie's been paralyzed from the waist down since she was 21. Your mom was only 2 months old. The winter Elsie taught you to play solitaire, your parents and sister had been dead for almost a year. What? And you already begun to forget their faces. Damn! Wow, that's a character entry. Whew. Although you cook for her, do her laundry, bathe, and even dress her, it still feels like she's the one taking care of you. Well, emotional needs, emotional care, very important. You close your eyes and almost feel Elsie stroking your hair. Aww. You're 11 years old again, kneeling next to her bed, crying your heart out. Suddenly the bell rings and you feel an invisible force trying to drag you into the present. Look through the window! Those fucking kids. First breath is followed by 2 more. They step on the hose and activate the bell for a second and a 3rd time. You don't know what comes over you, but you yell some things at them that you're too ashamed to remember. Oh, I hope nothing racist or something like that. You justify yourself thinking that they might be the ones who got into your garage that night. I know it's called garage. Let me say it how I want to say it. And stole some parts of the replica machine gun you're building. Excuse me, what holds? I think we need to talk. That's concerning. You won't let anyone mess with your project. I don't know, maybe someone should mess with your project. The wine and steam machine gun is the jewel of your collection. I hope it's just a collection. The kids yell at you, old freak, and laugh, sheltered by the distance. Deep down you know that it can't be them. How would they know which parts of the machine gun were worth stealing? Anyway, that guard dog's being brought over in a few days and you'll be able to stop worrying. Check the hose. You think about what someone told you at the bar about replacing the hose with a thicker one so that it could only be activated by the weight of a car. And what happens if the kids jump with their bikes and land on top of the hose with one of the wheels, you asked. Kids are always going to find some way to bust your balls, they replied. Yeah, but then they have to make the effort and maybe it's too dangerous. Go back in. You try to calm down. You look at the shelves and think of the solitaire your grandma taught you. Your grandma always said that everyone has their place in the world, and that people keep dancing around it without ever reaching it. To win this solitaire, you have to stop dancing. You know that the chances of winning are incredibly low, almost 0. You can't bring yourself to turn over the next card and decide to start sorting the shelves instead. Doing simple jobs builds up your self-confidence and provides you some illusion of control. Grab something from the upper shelf. Wait, that already can lay clothes? Let's get the box. Replace something from the lower shelf. The bottle. And
something from the upper shelf. The box. Replace something from the lower shelf. The can. Replace something from the middle shelf. The bottle. And put it on the upper shelf. Empty. Oh, beautiful. Check shelf.
good. One type of product on each shelf. Achievement, illusion of control. Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's 3 products, you know, that's not really rocket science for anyone. Ooh. You scratch your head. This time sorting the shelves doesn't help. You feel the same urgency as before and you can't think of anything else. Is the card going to be read? You need it to be read. Suddenly the air seems heavy and you find it a bit difficult to breathe. Ooh, nice face. I mean, you know, it's a good emotional face. 3 men in black are staring at you. Ooh! Through the window you see a black Cadillac by the pump. Yes? You wish you'd asked them how they got into the station without you hearing the door open. Or how they left the car there without the bell ringing. But that trembling yes was the only thing you managed to utter. The moose. The moose? After a few seconds of not receiving any response, you decide to break the silence. What's up with the moose? You bought a woman a whiskey. You don't know if it's the right move, but you try to relax and be more friendly. Do you know of a more effective way to socialize? You told her the dream about your grandma. What? It sure runs through your body. It's been a few weeks since that night. And even though you had a good time with Martha and have no regrets, something about the way these men in black ask their questions makes you uneasy. What do you want to know? Granny in the forest. One of the men farther back lets out a cracking noise. You look at him believing he's laughing, but the man in black's expression doesn't change. Ew! Is it like something in his gears? You know what? Let's just tell them about the dream because it's a dream. And from my perspective, it's like, whatever. I want to know the dream. My grandma has been bedridden for over 60 years, but in the dream I saw her running through the woods. Start from the beginning, and don't omit any details. You don't know if it's the way they look at you or because of a certain authority in their voice, but you tell them everything about the dream. 5 or 6 weeks ago, you woke up in the middle of the night, certain that something had happened to your grandma. You ran up to her room and Elsie wasn't in bed. The window was wide open. You ran to it and saw someone walking through the trees. It was her, and she was holding a rifle of the kind your ancestors would have carried in the Civil War. You tried to call out to her. Your grandma started running and shot 2 or 3 times into the blackness of the forest. You were about to go down to find her when a winged figure with glowing red eyes appeared in front of the window and screamed, "Mothman! Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, Mothman! Do-do-do-do-do-do-do, Mothman!" Okay, you stumbled backwards, and after hitting your head on the bedpost, you lost consciousness. You woke up in your bed and remembered the dream almost instantly. You went up the stairs 2 at a time and opened the door to her room. Your grandmother slept peacefully. On the bedside table was the glass of milk you bring her every night and the deck of cards she uses to play solitaire. During the days that followed, you tried to convince yourself that it had all been a dream, even though you couldn't explain where the little stitches at the base of your skull had come from. Oh, 1 second. After a few seconds, one of the men in black speaks again. The spots on her legs predate her birth hold. What? What is he talking about? Is he referring to the dozens of moles on your grandpa's legs? Wait, is it Mole Man, maybe, instead of Mothman? And what do they mean by saying those spots predate her birth? Elsie always makes the same joke when you sponge her calves. Be thankful that you have to clean my legs and not my grandfather's. According to what she told you, her granddad had been shot dead by an experimental weapon early in the Civil War, when his legs were ripped to shreds. The Winnan steam gun, son. A machine gun that doesn't appear in any book. Is that one he tries to build? You think about the replica you're putting together in the workshop and you wonder if it was the man in black who had stolen those pieces. You're not telling anyone else about this visit, Holt. You start to complain when one of the men in black picks up a card from the counter. The top card of the deck! The crunch horrifies you. Yeah, that's kind of weird in a bad way, you know? It's not quirky, it's more like... grotesque. The teeth of the man in black seem to tear more than simply paper. Oh, he's throwing it. Oh. Ugh. Desperate, you throw yourself under the counter and look for the card. Your heart is pounding. When I get up, they will not be there anymore. Yeah. Look out the window and you don't see the Cadillac. Cadillac? Cadillac or Cadillac? Cadillac. Cadillac. Why do I know how this word is pronounced, but then I think too much about it, and then it turns into a weird thing. It's like giraffe from The Last of Us all over again. You walk to where the car was parked a few moments ago. You step on the hose, and the bell rings. What the fuck? Jack of Diamonds, it's a red card! I knew it. Think about the edge one of the men in black tore off, and you remember the noise he made when you chewed it. Was it a threat? I don't know. Is that a threat? That's just weird, grotesque. A warning? You wonder if you should tell your grandma everything that happened or just keep your mouth shut. And keep playing solitaire with a marked card. Yeah, would you tell your grandma? Maybe you should. They said not to tell anyone, but... Oh, it's very loud. Wait a minute. Because the intro was really not very loud, I thought, you know, it needed to be. Chapter 1, Lee. Okay, so we get to meet everyone. Nice. What's wrong? I told you, it's nothing. That damn pause again. There's something she's not saying. Also, I'm not doing voices in this one. I sometimes will a little bit, but I'm not good with voices, so I'd rather not, so I can keep the emotional thing going, you know. The Mustang purrs. You shake your head, feeling sad inside. The sound of an engine hides no secrets. Lee, you're right. You bite your lip and sigh. Why is everything so damn hard? What? It was like 3 seconds of her to think about it. Victoria settles into a seat. Let's start over, okay? Where are we going? Answer the question. It's a surprise. Please. No, Vic, have some patience. You'll never forget this night. Victoria giggles and you think this is the best gift in the world. Aw, for a moment you forget all the previous discussions, your obsessions. Obsessions? A giggle, a friendly gesture making someone feel good ain't rocket science. You look at the clock and can't believe your eyes. You left your house on time, but you're pretty late. How could you step on the gas? Lee! Lee! You scratch the side of your head. Wow, you really hate being told how to drive. I don't like Lee. Lee? Why doesn't she just tell you to slow down? You take your foot off the gas. Thanks. You're trying your best. You really think Victoria could be the one. And you already have so many issues with her. I don't know. The one. Your dad once said the perfect woman doesn't exist. Couples form when people get tired of looking and just give up. You remember your mother's rants, all those women's names she rattled off as if they were part of an endless grocery list. Sorry, I see something, you know, in my periphery of the eye, but I don't think there's anything. It's just a ghost. It's a ghost. You won't end up like him. Anything but that. You try to smile and force yourself to be more cheerful. You want a clue? Yes! Victoria looks into your eyes and you feel warmth on your face that takes you by surprise. You felt the same thing the first time you saw her in college. You keep looking at her for a few seconds that seem like forever. Look at the road, dude! What? Do I have a booger? Where? You can't help laughing out loud and have a hard time containing the urge to kiss her. Look at the road! Ooh, a bit about the myth. I want the myth. One would be a source of superstition, but we're talking thousands. A source of superstition? A black cat? Victoria looks at you expectantly, desperate to be right. Cold. About the origin, it comes from far away. Victoria makes a gesture for you to complete the sentence. You just shrug. It comes from far away. I mean, that could be anything. Guess then. The circus? I'm freezing cold. Many superstitions, it comes from far away. No, I don't know either. But the date, it happened 100 years ago. Victoria answers almost immediately. After all, you're both majoring in history. The end of the Civil War. No, not in 1865. I mean exactly 100 years ago, Vic. Oh, let me think then. You're running out of time. There was a cholera outbreak in 1866, right? No. And how twisted do you think I am to set up a date themed around a cholera outbreak from a century ago? Victoria laughs and hits you on the shoulder. You chuckle and act like it hurt. No, Vic, just give me a minute. Oh yeah, the meteor show. Oh man, I'ma do this. You won't guess it unless... You reach out to open the glove box and Victoria grabs your wrist. Better leave it to me. Victoria opens the glove box and examines its contents. A folder, a box, a flashlight. What are you looking for exactly? Tell her to look under the flashlight. A book. 1966 Shelby Mustang. The car handbook? No, not that. What else? At the folder. Victoria opens the folder and examines the documents. Some papers, insurance details. Do you want me to read some of this? You shake your head. Ugh. Look at the box! Victoria takes out the box and opens it. Let's see what you've been hiding. You think about saying something, but you instantly regret it and keep your mouth shut. Spare change, a lighter, a pack of cigarettes. Nothing to worry about, I reckon. Keep looking, please. Tell her to see if there's something more. Already got everything out. 1 second, there's this too. Victoria stretches out her hand and you finally grab the map you wanted. It was folded against the bottom of the glove box. You start talking and Victoria interrupts you. Hold that thought while I put everything back. You put the map on the dashboard while Victoria puts away the folder, the box, the flashlight. Vic, you know I like it tidy in there. Very funny. Vic flicks through the book she found. Red Badge of Courage? Haven't you read this book 1,000 times already? You know she's testing you. Vic knows exactly why you carry it everywhere. The novel that portrays the era you're obsessed with like no other. What the hell is this? Suddenly you remember you're using the pencil sketch that Victoria drew of you in one of your classes as a bookmark. A sketch she begged you with tears in her eyes to destroy. And you swore you already had. Uh-oh. Vic, I'm sorry. I swear. Watch out! Yeah, look at the road, doofus. You swear to avoid a shape in the road. Victoria looks back. Lee? We almost ran that thing over. You put your hand on Vic's shoulder, trying to reassure her. Victoria points ahead. Just keep your eyes on the road, please. She's doing it again, telling you how to drive. I mean, you nearly drove over something, you know, so obviously you need someone to tell you how to drive. Lee. Come on. Yeah. At least this time she came right out with it, instead of just saying Lee disapprovingly. You try to control yourself, but it's hard. Also controlling? That already sounds like he has anger issues that are kind of, you know, already boiling. Nah, I don't like him. It's not just this last thing, but the build-up of all the small gestures. You take the map and throw it on her lap. Victoria raises her arm in disbelief. The Leonids, Victoria. We're going to have dinner watching the Leonids. Victoria says nothing. Forgive me for trying to arrange the perfect date. You try to keep silent, but you can't hold it in. A meteor shower. A phenomenon associated with the passage of the Temple-Tuttle comet every 33 years. Victoria keeps staring ahead. In 1866, there was one of the most spectacular meteor showers ever recorded. I saw some lithographs in the library. Victoria doesn't even move. Everyone makes a wish on a shooting star. Imagine how many wishes you can make with thousands of stars shooting through the sky. Victoria settles in her seat. You know what, Lee? Shut up. You've never heard that tone before from her. Just keep quiet until we reach. She pauses as she examines the map you throw in her lap. Holt station? You feel your heart pounding. Your hands are shaking. That's what she wants? For you to keep quiet? For you not to say a goddamn word? I mean, you wanted her to shut up, so... Your hands grip the wheel tight. All the preparations you made for tonight. Your friend Freddie had worked out the ideal place to see them in all their splendor, away from the city lights. And when you noticed the whole station was inside the area, you didn't hesitate. But now Vic had ruined it. Has she? So first of all, this date circles around you and your interests, not hers. You're obsessed with this meteor shower, you know, you want this whole thing. So it's kind of like not just a very selfless act. Second of all, you kept this painting, which is probably a nude painting, which you want to destroy, because maybe you're a really good painter and it's very accurate, or it was super crude. And you kept it despite her wishes, so she has, you know, all the reason. But then you got like angry at her for pointing out that you're a bad driver, despite you being a bad driver. So, all in all, you pretty much ruined it yourself. Oh. That's Mothman looks like a cute little bat. What the fuck? Something hits the Mustang's antenna. No! What the hell is that? Stop, please, stop! Stop the car. You slam on the brakes. Instinctively, you put a hand in front of Victoria to keep her from hitting the windshield. You get out of the car and find a dead bat in front of the headlights. Aww. The animal had hit the antenna and somehow got entangled. You can't believe it. What are the odds of something like this happening? Yeah. Don't bats have some advanced echolocation system like a submarine sonar? What starts as a simple grunt in your throat emerges as a helpless scream. Fuck! This is what I get for trying to do something different. You should have gone to the movies. Lee, Vic's whispering. It doesn't take long to see why. Over there. The coyote is watching you from where the dark of the forest meets the light of the moon. Vic, we got this. Yeah, you get into the car and drive away. Oh, there it is. I see it on the right. It's not interested in us. You point to the dead bat. They're scavengers. You hear a growl that quickly multiplies. Ooh! Suddenly you're surrounded. Get in the car! It's not the first time you face coyotes in the woods, but you aren't taking any chances. When I say run to the car as fast as you can, you try to recall all the advice you've heard for situations like these. Make lots of noise, wave your arms around. One of the coyotes in front of you approaches. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, and gesture. Yell at the ones. Don't yell right now. Yeah, it's a lot of coyotes, so we should rather run to the car now. The coyote closest to you leaps forward with a savage bite. Encouraged by your screams, the rest of the coyotes soon join the feast. Oh. Yellow gesture. Are they on this side of the car? Yes, on this side. Is that the center? I don't know. No, it's the... Man, is that the right? Is that the right? Okay. Another coyote advances. You look into its watery, bloodshot eyes.
Yellow gesture. On this side of the car? To your left? Okay. No. Yellow gesture. On this side again? To your right? Get away. No. Shit.
3 coyotes advance at once. Yelling or waving your arms around won't be enough this time. Bang on the hood. Okay, and now run. The trick seems to work and all coyotes back down. No coyote advanced this time. It's your chance to go on the offensive. Huh. Run to the car. I can only throw at one coyote. No. God damn it. Okay.
Okay, let's do this again. On this center.
Okay, throw a stone. And crouch down and find 4 stones. You pick them up. And it's gone. And you feel more and more confident. Run to the car now. Yeah, and we only died twice. You get in the car, close the doors, and Victoria starts laughing. Although you know the reaction is more adrenaline than anything else, you start laughing too and then kiss her. Good look at the road lead! Jesus fucking Christ! Lesson of this night. You start up the car and the V8 roars into life. You resume the trip. After a few wordless minutes, you suddenly remember something. Hold, Vic. We're going to Holt's gas station. Victoria starts whistling. The doubts, the fears, everything seems a bit ridiculous now. You think about the plans you made for tonight and smile. You really like to hear her whistle. Yeah, he's, I don't know, he's a loose cannon. So many red flags, even if he's, you know, relaxed right now. So Victoria, let's see how you are. So Holt is a bit unnerving because of the gun, but maybe that's more to honor his grandpa, and he's not really building a gun to kill anyone. But he also has kind of anger. Like, Holt and Lee both have anger issues. Let's see about Victoria. Lee turns off the car and looks you in the eye. He smiles, and that smile seriously pisses you off. Tell Lee? What? Before you can open your mouth, Lee taps you on the leg. Wait here, Vic. I swear you won't believe it. You bite your lip and take a deep breath. You see him greet someone. Holt? Lee had written Holt Station on the map he'd thrown on your lap 20 minutes ago. He'd written it by hand, and it might as well have said Holt Station or Holt Station. Hell Station, even. Lee's handwriting has always been intriguing to you. You remember that time you mentioned it to him, and he responded with a disproportionate anger. A nonsensical rant which involved several philosophers of language. Ew, one of those guys. And all because you told him his handwriting was dreadful. But you now know where those reactions come from. That night, you two got drunk by the lake. Lee told you that his father would have wanted to be born ugly. After the initial surprise, he couldn't stifle a belly laugh, and Lee looked down. Yeah, same, Victoria. I mean, I wouldn't have laughed, but I would have been puzzled. For a few minutes, he didn't want to tell you anything else. You finally convinced him to continue. Oh, because his father was like a philanderer. Is that the right word? I always got what I wanted just by smiling. Ugly people have to develop other muscles. Yeah, you poor soul. I mean, you can also develop other muscles, you know. That's the thing. That's called privilege, you know. If you're privileged, you can still do all these things that non-privileged people can do. It's that the other way, like non-privileged people, for example, people that are not conventionally attractive, they do not get the privileges of conventionally attractive people, whatever they do. So it's like, you know, when Charlize Theron complains that she doesn't get roles for certain characters because she's too pretty, and it's like, yeah, I'm crying for you right now. I'm really so sorry for that. So sorry. Like, I know there come certain things, especially for women, you know, when they're beautiful. But, yeah, no, I'm not buying it. Okay. Unfortunately, those other muscles are the ones that last. You couldn't believe those words had come out of the mouth of a flesh and blood human being. Maybe some poorly written character from a cheap romantic novel. But Lee's father? You picture Lee that night, throwing pebbles from the shore while telling you everything about his father's teachings. Oh, that frustration. Was that the night you got pregnant? Oh! You had both been drinking. Suddenly you find it difficult to breathe. The interior of the car feels like it's getting smaller and smaller. Oh, honey, not with this guy. You need some air. Say hi. Holt, right? Holt seems startled. Hello? This is Victoria, my girlfriend. Be right back, Vic. You see them walk away with a box they took out of the trunk. And from the effort Holt's putting in, it seems heavy. See? He didn't plan the date for Victoria. He planned the date because it was close to Holt and he had an excuse to get there, maybe on a date night. What a dick. What's inside the box? Oh, indeed. That's what I'm always asking. You're not stupid, you know that Lee has some business on the side beyond his work as an intern at the university. You heard some rumors and you have your suspicions. However, you never did too much digging. You prefer to keep it a mystery, something to make Lee a little bit more interesting. I don't know. I would prefer to keep Lee, you know, neither interesting nor not interesting, just further away from me. You light a cigarette. Would Lee be a good father? And the question that you still haven't had the courage to ask. Would you be a good mother? Ah, the 60s, when you could still smoke in hospitals. The good days. The clicks repeat at irregular intervals. Small moths approach the light to get electrocuted. Is that love, Victoria? You laugh and shake your head from side to side. You think of all the manuscripts you've torn up. You've tried poetry, drawing. History seemed like an obvious choice. You don't need any talent to be a historian. Is that a man in black, or it's just someone else? Hello? The man talks to himself while holding something in his hand. Have you seen any winged creatures flying over the area yet? For a moment you think he's asking some kind of tricky question, and you remain silent. Remain silent! However, something about him tells you that he's genuinely asking. You look at the man bathed in the shine of the streetlight, and the scene fascinates you. Surreal, some of your old friends would have said, the ones that organized poetry nights and read L'Autrement. Excuse me, you are... Oh yes, sorry, Hill. Lou Hill. Writer. Victoria Greenberry. History student. Winged creatures, Mr. Hill? Lou, please. Can I call you Victoria? You nod. I'm looking into about a dozen reports, Victoria. Numerous witnesses claim to have seen human-sized winged creatures flying over the area. Angels? Lou smiles, but the smile doesn't last long on his face. Look there at the top of the trees. It won't take you long to find one. You aim at the area Lou just told you. Everything's blurry, so you decide to add just the binoculars. So you decide to add just the binoculars. Yes, Hula, that's what the writer wants to tell you. So is that... These the... Can rotate further to the right. Okay. If you can't focus, try adjusting the diopter first. It's adjusted to compensate for some issues with my left eye. Try to adjust it to see the same with both eyes, then focus. Adjust the diopter. You move the diopter to the left and notice the change in your left eye. Oh, there. Oh my god. 6,000 years later. What the? It was just a second, but you think you saw something up there. Was it suggestion? I don't think they're angels, Victoria. But before I tell you my theory, I need your help. Could you draw in this notebook what you just saw? Right next to the other thing that I will probably copy just subconsciously? Yes? Yes. At any other time you'd have refused with some witty comment. Jesus, for language is failing me. But there's something about Lou Hill that invites you to play along. You wonder if the fact that he presented himself as a writer had something to do with it. Oh, Victoria! Going sweet on the writer by. Little owl head. Little owl head, right? Yes. Small round body. No, white chest. Whoa. Human chest. Small round body with chicken wings. Wide chest with short arms and wings. No, I think that was... No, that... No. That wasn't really weird bird-like legs. That wasn't really it. Redraw the body. No! Oh my god, no. No! Redraw the body. White chest. Okay, so we can't... Okay, so let's go with this one, I guess. Redraw the leg. Thin? No. I didn't see the legs. Well, let's go with this one. I like it. Before giving it back, you write some notes further describing what you saw. Lou hadn't asked for them, but somehow they make you feel less anxious. You never felt confident about your work. Victoria, you won't get marks on this. Lou looks at the notebook for a few seconds that feel too long. You think about that time you showed your sketches to your art teacher, and how he embarrassed you in front of the rest of the class. Yeah, this will probably not have any impact on this situation right here, Victoria, you know. It's so weird, you know. I mean, I know I'm a very socially anxious person myself, but I don't really draw from past experience. Like my anxieties surround around what if scenarios, you know, in the thousands for every social interaction. But I'm never really like, well, once 20 years ago, this thing happened with this one person one time, and now this surely will happen in a completely different situation and context. You know, that's not. No, I'm more creative, you know, than that. Motherfucker. What? Sorry. I was talking to myself. You can't help but blush. Victoria! For once you're glad to hear Lee's voice. Oh, good? Although he seems to be talking to you, Lee keeps staring at Lou. Lou Hill, writer. Lou holds out his hand. Lee Miller, historian. Isn't he also a student? So, you know... She said she's a student of history. He just says historian. That's very interesting, and I'm quite sure the writer did that very intentionally. Lee walks over and puts his arms around you, his back to Lou. Oh man! Lee! Calm the fuck down. You know, he must have been annoyed that Lou introduced himself as a writer. Although it's hard for you to admit it, you like to be hugged. You feel safe. Not with Lee, I'm sorry. You think you would also feel safe in your grandmother's arms or in the arms of any of the other strong women in your family. Ah, okay. So it's just an embrace that you needed. But the heat of Lee's body, the hardness of his muscles. You remember all those biologists' arguments you hate so much and you can't help but smile. It's like you're cheating when nobody's looking. Come on, Vic. Let's see the surprise. Close your eyes. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, is he saying hi to Holt? Look at that. It's like... Or is he saying goodbye to us? Let's close our eyes. Let's be nice. You close your eyes and let Lee guide you. Now open them. It's a picnic at a gas station. Well, that's kind of cute. And there's a doggy. So, what do you think? A romantic dinner for two under the same meteor shower that amazed our ancestors. You instinctively put your hand to your belly. Oh, so what he had in the box was actually for the picnic. But that's not... It doesn't look like it's heavy. You know, that should... And when you realize it, you quickly put it in your pocket. Put my hand on the belly. Did I read that out loud? I forgot. I'm sorry. You look at the dog tied to the post. The dog growls into the dark. Oh, nice sound effect. I like that. I think this is a good point to end this first episode. I think I will go with 2 episodes, 2 more episodes, I mean, so I have a triplet. I really enjoy this. I like the way it's told. I think the characters are amazingly written because they're not necessarily likable, which I always like if they're not perfect. Like, if I know the writer wants me to like someone because they're just perfect and lovely and everyone loves them, you know, and everyone is mean to them, it's just a horrible person. It's really difficult because I feel like layers, you know, I can relate. Everyone has layers, you know, everyone has annoying stuff and has weird thoughts. And I think all 3 characters are kind of really interesting and you want to see how they will react to further things. For example, with Lee, he has so many red flags, but maybe he will react quite, you know, honorably in the next couple of chapters. With the Holt, you know, he obviously has baggage. Well, all the others also have. But, you know, there's something more, a mystery about his grandma and everything. I mean, he grew up, well... he grew up an orphan. I just wanted to ask, are you an orphan if you still have family left, you know? Because for me, being an orphan mainly means that there's no biological family at all. Or not even, you know, chosen family or whatever. But yeah, so he has, you know, quite a lot of, you know, stuff to go through. And that's really interesting. I like that the Mothman thing is really slowly creeping in, but was really, really smart. So I recently watched a video by Tench Frost where she does those, I don't know, I think a couple of times each year, where she plays a lot of demos that are left back on her PC. And she gives them usually 10 minutes, and sometimes she gives them 20 minutes if they're interesting or whatever. And I realized while I was watching this how important it is to get the main draw of your story across in the first 5 to 10 minutes of any game, especially when it's a demo, but even in a game, because you need that initial excitement. Even if someone buys your game, you know, you need that hype that they have, the expectations, you need to meet them, so they will continue to play this. So they will not drop it. And it's more important for demos, because there it's really about, will the person put it on the wish list? Will they actually buy the full finished game? But even with games I've purchased, you know, I want them to really grab me. And I think this one really has, because it's a smart telling of the story. You have the black man, so there's already the mystery with the grandma, with the weird moles, you know. And then you have the thing with the Mothman, you know. So there's already enough little things, you know, dropped here and there without going full out. So I want to know more. So it's really beautiful. I love the style of it. I think it looks very gorgeous. It really reminds me, it's more X-Files than Twin Peaks, which is not a bad thing. Like, this is a neutral comment. This is more about the feeling, you know, how it's being told and everything. But I was a big X-Files fan as a kid, and still am. More so than Twin Peaks, gotta be honest. But I never really fully watched it, so maybe that's because. But yeah, I will definitely... I'm looking forward to continue this. So I hope you enjoyed this as well. If I missed anything, any references, any mysteries, if I said something really, you know, confounding, where you're like, what is going on with her? Tell me in the comments. And also, if you're new to this channel, you know, you're welcome to subscribe. And I promise you, if I'm a horrible driver and I'm not looking at the road and I nearly drive over a creature or whatever, you know, and you just are like, you know, you continuously, because you're super scared when you're in the car with me, and you continuously have to tell me, you know what, can you calm it down, can you drive a little bit, you know, I will not get angry. I'll be like, yeah, I get it. I shouldn't be driving, actually. So subscribe. Anyways, I hope you had a good time. I hope you have a wonderful day, and maybe see you soon. Bye. This is my self-recorded outro song, so I don't get hit with copyright claims. If you subscribe to a lot of fun tutorials, reviews, and let's plays.